sometimes when we see so much flooding in Trinidad and Tobago, we wonder what's causing it. Sometimes we blame the government. Other times, of course, we blame ourselves, which we must do at times because we too are at fault. But take a look to the back of me. Take a look. No, it's not a landfill. But people have made one of our many water courses in Trinidad and Tobago a landfill. That's what it looks like to me, because no water can pass there. And that is what is happening right here in the Barataria area and environs. This is Meet the Councillor right here on Cloud 9, where we speak to the new councillor for the area, Ms. Sharon Maraj-Durham, and residents as they speak about what they've been, well, had to endure rather, for, well, in one case, over 20 years. Take a look. It's sweet, eh? Good to look at. All right, so we are in the Barataria area today, and we're speaking to Mr. Simon. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thanks.
All right, then tell us
Glad to see you all.
Glad to see you. We glad to be here too.
Yeah.
Right. So tell us how this particular waterway, this water course, how has it affected you over the years?
When overflow, here there be like a river.
How bad? How bad?
That door, you see behind my back, water be. You pass it. All you see inside there. But you have mud inside there of that shame. This fencing break down to the water.
How long this fencing hasn't broken down?
This fence up 1 year as well, you know.
Yes.
I can't say how long because I wasn't here that length that time.
Okay.
But this fencing was the fencing they had up and to the water. When you see that across there, too sad.
So let me ask you a question. Over the years, in terms of reaching out to the various officials, the corporation, the councillor, what has been happening before?
Lady tired. She tired each other them. Only promising. She reach.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, only promising her. And you hold on back here.
So
When the river overflowed, that's caused the problem here. Water is gushing inside here, breaking down inside here.
So are you expecting to see a change now with the new councillor in the area?
Well, boy, in my life, I will look for change, you know. Councillors come, councillors go. They give you a good word. But when you're out here, you have plenty mouth. But when you're inside there, you have a different mouth. But that time, you're not for yourself. You have other people on your back. You're willing to do it, but there are others on your back.
Well, when water flood, it's 5 feet of water coming in the whole place. Everything sailing. 5 feet, I can't even come downstairs, water reaching.
How many years have you all been encountering?
I live in here over 20 years, and this has been happening since.
How bad is the mosquito infestation?
It's bad, because mosquito biting. I put mosquito repellent on my skin and cock set.
Have you ever had any stuff? Because I know in some areas you have like caiman or caiman coming up and snakes and stuff. You ever had that?
No.
Okay.
Well, the amount of cats I have, they're killing all the... they're getting rid of all the snakes.
Well, bless God for that.
I had to pay somebody $300 to put a drain for the water to pass up, because it's 3 feet of water I get in the back of me. And where it have the body, they have the canal, it can't pass because it's blocking from here, going right down to the mouth. And nobody doing anything about it. When rain fall, I in trouble. And the rainy season is about to be here. So the water is choking, it cannot pass. And I get in 5 foot of water inside my yard through that.
A few months ago, there was a heavy downpour whereby the major river there by Mova, it basically burst its banks, and the flow of water was so heavy within seconds, it literally covered the bus route area by Mova Junction, KSD, all the way to Maritime. Now that river water is also coming in here, and you're going to see that there isn't anywhere for water to run off in this drain. Nowhere. Well, this is supposed to be a water course. This is supposed to be an area where water is supposed to flow back out to the sea. I am looking to see where earth ends and drain begins, because there's nowhere, literally nowhere for the water to flow. So what happens? The water backs up quickly and into these homes that you're going to see behind, well, to the front of me. And this is where Ms. Charles and others, they've been affected, as you would have heard, for about 20 years now. All right, so now we're talking to Mr. Smith, also from the Barataria area, and thank you for talking to us this morning. I didn't know you're living next to a landfill. I thought, I thought this was supposed to be a water course, but I was clearly mistaken. How long have you been living here now?
5 years.
And how has that last 5 years been for you, when, particularly during the rainy season?
Well, we got flooded out once, like really bad, and
How bad is bad?
like water in the house, shin height, and we lose a lot of stuff, a lot of clothes, electrical items and stuff. And then sometimes when the rain fall, it floods, but not every time it will come inside. But it will fill up in the yard and everything, so it is scary, because something you never know what to expect with heavy rain.
Over the last 5 years, Ms. Durham Maraj, she's now in the hot seat, as they say. But what has the response been by the corporation and the councils of past year? What have they been saying? What have they been clearly? And it's not knocking, but I'm looking at this year and nothing really has been done, at least from what I'm seeing.
Well, as I say, nothing has been done. We tried. Some people came and follow up after the incident happened, but after that we've tried to follow up and nothing has been done. No feedback after that. So
Any promise in terms of the actual drainage and dredging and actually making box drains in this particular area?
yeah, but nothing.
All right, okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, so we're here with Mr. Dana Alibokas, also resident of Barataria, who've been affected by the constant flooding, particularly during the rainy season. Thank you for accommodating us this morning. So tell us now, we noticed as well that there's some work going on here that clearly is incomplete. Tell us about what's happening here.
That's what happened. They came and they started it. And we explained to them that that wind going in the back. They never continued to the back, to flow out, to go to connect to the other river.
Right.
Yes. The whole side out here supposed to have a drain. And it full up. So all behind, the rest of the concrete work right there, and behind, the water is stagnant right now. Because they usually take the mud up and drop it on the bank, in the back, and rise it, and rise it. They have a guy planting, and right by him is supposed to have the full drain coming through, has nothing. But there is completely level. You understand? So all the water is just back up. Unless it's real bad, they go flow straight through. But look how high this yard is. This yard is actually about 3 feet above. And a little bit came there, that's a small flood. Right? It was up straight to the next side of the house. Straight up the yard. Usually I think twice downstairs flooded out and everything was destroyed. Right? And it came up about halfway on this side. And you had to spend whole 2 days shuffling mud. I tried to make 2 things to the gate. In fact, right there now I'm making them. To put to the front, to block it, to block.
Over the gate there?
Yeah, from the 2 pillars.
Right.
Yeah, I had the frame inside there right now. Yeah, so, Yeah, but they say, I know ridiculous. It's much, it's 30 years now. No?
So one saying 20, so we're going to,
Yeah,
it's
about 30
even more,
years.
30 years.
Yes, it's about 30 years. I is 59 years old. I is 59 years old. I said we is 20.
Council after government come, government go.
The same thing. They're the only thing they did in the 30 years. That piece of canal there.
Well,
They
do something.
They didn't do that side watch.
Yeah, we noticed that.
Yeah, they do here, straight along here, and they do that little piece right here. That was it.
You have a new councillor now. What are you hopeful of that she can bring some results to the area?
Yes, well, we really hope so, because this is too much. I getting so old now, I'm not able to clean up all these things, So, I really wish we could get some kind of help out here with this water system. This rain is not nice. It's not easy. It's too much of work. It's a lot of cleaning up after too, and then they don't come and even wash down after. They don't ever come and wash down. You had to come out here and try day after day after day to get the mud off, So I just hope everything would work out now.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
All right, so we're here with Miss Marina Charles Daisu. We're on 8th Street 3rd Avenue?
8th Avenue.
8th Avenue,
3rd Street.
3rd Street in Barataria. And her issue is not flooding, but she has been flooded with some other issues for the past 11 years and 5 months to be exact.
Right.
Thank you for allowing us to come into your home.
Okay.
You are living opposite Body Shop, as the case may be.
Yeah.
And this has been the thorn in your flesh, more or less,
Yes.
for the past 11 years.
Yeah.
Take us way back to when they actually established this factory, this
Oh,
paint shop.
2007.
And
It's
what's
all
happening since then?
all polluting us with the toxic paint fumes and noises. They do all the dirty work to the back of the river, right? High power was to intercom. You're hearing everything, everything, all the noises, everything they do. We get it straight to the back. No noise to the Eastern Main Road.
Because you look to the back of
It
the
affects us a lot, yeah. And my house is right here at the corner. So we get the full blast. Everything they do, we get it. When they come in the morning, bam, they open that gate. And you hear the noises. I lie down and my heart just, in pieces, ripping apart. Because they start already. And then all they turn on the special thing for the noise, to make the, whatever. For the paint or whatever, when they started, and the pounding and the noises, and it's unbelievable. It's terrible.
So within, let's say, the first year of all of this, did you try approaching them? Did you approach, what was your first?
EMA.
EMA.
I wrote to EMA. And just, okay, they're working on it, and then these people came, they smelled it too, they went back, nothing.
Did they agree with your complaints? Did they understand where you're coming from?
Yeah, but nothing came out of it. Nothing, everything was just under the table. Everything went under the table.
And I understand as well that it was built on the riverbank?
Yeah, actually built on the riverbank. All the pipe is right there, connected. Everything flows in the river. Yeah, so they're not only polluting us here, they're polluting all the fishes and whatever lives in the river.
And what about support from neighbors and so forth in terms of getting this word out there?
We had a press conference, and the neighbors came, yes. And Mr. Khan said they will try and see what they could do. At that time was Fuad Khan, and nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Now, we're looking at 11 years.
Yeah.
And what about your health? Because you live here with your husband. And
Well, God is so good. He's such a great God. Well, that is what I'm trying to pursue, that I don't get cancer or anything. Right? That is what I'm trying to avoid. That is what I'm trying to avoid.
Have you ever tried meeting with the owners of the body shop?
No. No. We tried it. EMA said that one day, the officer said that we'll make a contact with the owner, but it never came to pass. That he will meet us one day. I don't think he said that he didn't want to do it, the owner. Yeah, just to talk it.
So looking at 11 years and 5 months, and now we have a new councillor in the area. What are you hopeful with the new council that something may get done?
Yeah, because we actually choking in our house. It's all different type of noises.
You
hearing it? Are you hearing it? That is going to feed enough for the to do the spray painting. That is a pounding there. Some car with some big dent somewhere. And after they're going to put in for the paint, to spray us. They're not using no filters. At the time they had stopped, they was using the filters, right? But since the father passed away, they continue. Father died, the owner.
Well, actually, I just got an odor. I actually
you smell it?
Yeah,
you smell it?
I just got it. Yeah,
right.
Just got it.
Okay.
And for those of the analysts, actually, they now start spraying. I'm now getting the scent. It's faint for now, but I gather
it's coming up.
It will
get worse. Right. And this is what I have to go through, endure. For the whole, well, according to how many cars they have, right? And the spray painting. If it's 2 cars or whatever. The more cars, it worse.
Wow.
Right. And you have to be choking and running around the house. All this kind. You run around the house, you're still getting it. Because it's in the air. And it's not only for it's everybody. It's not I alone, it's everybody in the in the area.
And,
it's harmful.
And the thing is, we're seeing examples of where other establishments like this one have been closed down. So the question is, why is this particular one?
Right, exactly.
And not so much closed down, because not to put anyone out of business, but it's to relocate. And you find throughout Trinidad and Tobago, we have many what you call industrial type businesses literally situated in the heart of communities. And if you put anything in the heart that's not supposed to be there,
Yeah.
like the body, it
Yeah.
will die.
Right.
Because there's some things the heart just cannot take.
Right.
And this is what's happening here. It's
Yeah.
placed in the heart of Barataria.
Yeah.
And the heart is going to stop pumping and stop
Yeah.
beating at some point.
Okay.
So it's not to shut them down, but it's to relocate, you know?
Because even when we had the press conference in 2010, Dr. Khan said that. He said, after a few years, 10, 15 years, people are going to start getting sick in the area. It's going to start developing, you know, but nothing came out of this. I tried every possible thing. I went to everybody. The last person I went to is Minister Hossain. I spoke with him on the phone, and he sent this for the...
That's Mr.
Right,
Kazim,
yes, this is the first,
Hussain.
yes, this is the last one.
This is I enclosed the
And nothing
caption
came
letter
out
with
after that.
attachments. This is all the attachments here.
Yeah, yeah.
The local government
And nothing came
minister.
out of this.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
From Alderman.
You will tell me,
Roberts.
yeah, because you have money, you could kill the poor man. Yeah, you could kill the poor man, he's nothing. You know? Why they don't put that in where they live? In their area.
All right, so the council will address this, but this is bigger than the councillor. This is something I believe central government should look into, or the minister as well.
But they put him there, yeah, they put him there. Tongue and Country put him there, but he applied for a warehouse and he put an auto garage. That is it. He has no approval. It's marked there. It is on one of these papers. It is there. There's no approval. I have it somewhere. Look at here.
Yeah.
This Jack Warner. This one, the next one. Yeah, he was my boss. And he tried to. Mr. Warner was my boss. That's the next one I highlighted it. I put it in here. Just now, yeah. Something. Dr. Wasina was my man. I have it somewhere. It's an illegal activity. And I have it somewhere. I have it in the next paper. Before you leave, I will find it. I'll give you with no approval.
So basically what she's saying is that there are letters that she received where there was no approval for,
Yeah.
it was for a warehouse,
Yes.
but
To change it to
a body shop.
Body
so
shop, yeah, auto
so I guess it
garage.
was, I guess the perception was it was something for storage.
Right,
More or less.
exactly.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
And she has her documents to,
right.
to prove
To
that.
prove it. Right?
We want to thank you very much. We have
welcome.
as well, I think it's your husband, who has to speak. Your husband is your
No,
brother.
my brother,
Your
my husband,
okay.
yes. Roddy,
Thank you very
you want
much.
to say something?
All right, so we have Mr. Roddy Charles. He is the brother of Miss Marina Charles. And I just want to quickly read a line from a letter sent to Mr. Imam Bash, basically where it says, and I quote, the regional corporation legislation allows them, being the establishment in question, to serve a show cause notice and demolish the building after 14 days if no approval can be produced for the building. There is no approval, and that's what she was saying. Seems as though based on the documents received that there was approval for a warehouse, right? But again, this is where the corporation needs to investigate this matter further. Mr. Roddy, how are you, sir? Roddy Charles, it's Charles, right?
Very good, yeah.
Thank you for allowing us into your home.
Yes.
Just give us your account of the last 11 years. I mean, how's it been for you? Well, it has been quite challenging from what I understand.
Well, the biggest problem is the smell, right? The smell of the paint, yeah. Because you know you get a sweet, sickly smell. Sometimes you pass small auto paint garages and you don't even smell anything, right? And they don't want to use filters because apparently they want to get as much profit as possible. They refuse to use that. And what I could say is just greed and selfishness. They only care about themselves.
And I think it's the onus on the owner of the establishment. Again, this is in no means to demonize anyone. But I think what should happen here right now is some level of consultation. That is my take on it. Consultation between the residents and yourself. That is my call. Sit down and find out from the residents what they're requesting. It's been 11 years. You all have come like neighbors, if you want to call it that. So there's supposed to be some sort of neighborly love and understanding. If the factory is to remain in the Barataria area in the middle of these houses and these families. So I am calling for the owner to have some consultation with the residents
find out their concerns, meet them halfway, so you know you don't have a situation, because the last thing you want is somebody, as you rightly said, dying, getting sick badly, and then now everybody now wants to be all up, you know, in their emotions, and they want that's not what we want, right? So again, what are you calling for? What are you hopeful for to all of this? What are you hopeful from the council and all of that?
Well, I'm hoping that they would, if they could use the filters and do the proper thing, so nobody in the community would smell the fumes, and also remember the fumes also producing poisons, right? And it's a long-term effect. Doesn't kill overnight.
Right.
Doesn't cause damage overnight.
Because Mr. Khan made the point within 15 years and 11 years gone already, so you know what's happening. Yeah. All right, thank you very much.
Okay,
appreciate it. Thank you.
We are on Don Miguel Road, and the residents here are asking for humps on the road. Because if you look in the back of me, you would see where the cars, because of the speed, just run into the wall. So there are no humps on this street. So besides here, a little further up also, they want humps.
All right, so I'm here with Mr. Nari Singh, and this street is the St. Dale Street. St. Dale. So I'm wondering if a Koki contractor built this, right? I'm trying to figure it out because I don't understand how it began there. That's off Don Miguel Road there. And something just did not happen after that.
I'm telling the man, I said about this road, you'll have to follow up your road here first. And again, so, he said the road can't fix it. How the road can't fix?
Mr. Singh, tell us how long this has been going on for now?
Man, about 10 years here, more years here.
10 years?
Yeah, since I know myself. The same way, and it didn't get better.
So let's take it from when it began. So they started to build a box drain clearly higher up, because the adrenaline network must be like a grid. Right. But for some reason, it stopped here. What happened? What did they say? What was the reason?
Well, I think some of them say they want no bridge. You know, they make a bridge sooner. Some say they want this, some want this, they want that.
Who's saying that?
My brother, someone saying they want to.
So other residents?
Yeah, they want to think here. But it's bad rainfall, long time rainfall, water going right up by me there. Yeah, you know what? Long time rainfall, water going right up by me there. But no sense of fixing it, water stay there and it's settling here. And it ain't fixing bad. Here need raising. Raise here,
and the water is flowing in which direction? It's flowing back that way or this way? How do you want?
Go back here, they go back there.
Because there's higher.
Yeah, right, see? So you need to raise. You have to raise here, right? And get still and stand still. But
and if you realize as well, the water coming up from the houses, so everything is just settling in the center.
Right.
This is outside of the water coming from the main road.
You see exactly what you need. And then maybe it's smelling. You see, rainfall, all here. Water here. And a whole in a mess.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
So we're standing in the midst of, well, we call it an empty lot, right? It ain't that empty. This is what you call a breeding ground of neglect, right? And where there's neglect, nothing good could come out of that. So as I say, when mosquitoes breed, they breed by the thousands and the millions. Well, if this is neglect, and it is, then what exactly are we breeding? I am here right now with the new councillor for the Barataria area, Mrs. Sharon Maraj-Durham. Congratulations to you, first of all.
Thank you so much.
It's an honor being here. It's also an honor standing amidst all this bush, right? But that's all right. That's why we're here. One of the many issues that you've had to see all your years while living in Barataria. But take us back, because you were born and bred in this area. Tell us, what was life for you growing up in the Barataria area?
Barataria was a wonderful place to be. As a child growing up, we would come out on the streets and we would play cricket and we would have our friends come over. And I remember as a child growing up, we could leave our doors open too. No, you can't. Everybody has burglar proof. You don't even see children on the road. The place was a nice family. It was not neighbors, it was family. Everybody was a family member. It was a community. Now it's not like that. Now everybody has to lock their doors. Everybody
living in their own little prison.
in their own little prison.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Did you ever see yourself entering politics or being involved in any sort of community activism? Was this something always part of your vision for your life?
Yes. As I was growing up, my family were always helping people, so I grew up helping people all the time. Not in a political way, but in a community way, right? So that's how I grew up. And my aunt was involved in the temple. My father was a taxi driver, plus he worked on the port, and they were always helpful to anybody that needed help. And like I said, growing up, we all live as a community. Somebody needed something done, everybody get together and we get it done. It was not about finances and things like that. It was coming together to get things done. So I grew up in that way, and I continued in that way.
So now came the politics part of it, in terms of when did this begin for you, the actual era of politics?
Well, the first election I ever voted in was when the Naro got into power, right? So since that time to now, I have always been in politics, in the sense that I've always been an activist on the ground, and I've always been like a polling agent, a data collector, influencing people of why they should vote and what is the importance of an election and things like that. Never really thinking that I'm going to get into active politics like this, but it happened, and here I am, and I will continue to do the best that I can on the ground.
Why do you think it was necessary for you to step in and, for the role as a councillor? What did you see that was missing in Baratraia? You know what? I need to do something more.
We weren't being represented in the way that we should be. In the sense, there are a lot of issues. There was neglect. Large potholes that you could probably have a swimming pool. If you would go around the area, and you will see all the manhole, and there's pieces of wood in the areas like that. People were complaining. The mosquitoes, and I know people made fun of the sandfly, but they're complaining about the sandfly too. The mosquitoes, the sandfly, and with lots like these, rodents. The rodents, you go throughout Barataria, and they are complaining about the rat and the mosquitoes and things like that. And I just thought that being a person on the ground, and the community said, Sharon, election is coming up, and I think you, being the person that who you are, you should go up to represent.
Tell us about the situation down by that area surrounding Maritime, extending from the major river by Mojo, because there's literally no proper runoff for water to the back of those houses there. What's happening there? And it's been for almost 20 years in some cases.
Yes, well, I knew that it flooded, but I didn't know it was that extent until I started walking the area. And then I found out that how high the water would go, and the residents say, after the flood, nobody would come around to ask a question to assist. But when I went there now and I looked at the area, work was started, and they just stopped abrupt. And where they stopped, there is nowhere for the water to go. So we have to deal with all of that. They started on one side, they have box drain, and on the other side there is nothing. So work needs to continue.
And that was years now. Some years now.
Yeah.
Now, one of the residents he spoke to, and he was very honest. So I'm going to repeat what he said. He basically said, I'm paraphrasing a bit. He says that Councillor came, Councillor go.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't want to have faith in you.
Yes.
But he is the old man now, and he's fed up.
Yeah.
How do you respond to those who are saying, listen, I want to give you a chance, but I've heard it all before. What do you say to them to encourage them? Listen, I'm going to do my best. What can you say to them?
Exactly what you just said. I am going to do my best. I told you that I was coming back, and I did come back to see you. I am taking the pictures, I am doing everything. I will take it back to the corporation to see how best I can represent you in this manner. I will also see if I can get the officers who are in charge to come and see it myself. And again, like just before the election, I went to them. I came back within the same week. I went back to them. because I saw for myself what was going on. So my next step is to go into the corporation, go into council and represent them and let them know what is taking place and see where we go from there.
I see you also have broken pieces of the road, but also broken pavements. The drainage is pretty bad. I mean, I see it's like just pockets of work that was done, and that was about it.
It's just pieces and pieces and pieces, and if you watch a lot of our drains, it's full of grass. It's like this. It's like this. There is no maintenance. So we have to see as much as possible what we can do to get these things done.
And in the context of your relationship with the PNM candidate, because I always make the point that despite whatever side of the fence that you're on, we could always cross over that fence.
Yeah.
You understand? So are you willing to work with the PNM candidate? Because she would have gotten her own level of support in the area.
Yes. I am willing to work with anyone to make our community a better place. Whether it is PNM, whether it is PEP, whoever it is, I am willing to work with everyone.
In terms of the crime, anything that you'd like to talk about that as
I spoke to Sergeant Applewhite, and I have to go into him officially and ask him for a rapid response thing and a more community patrolling. And I want to say within this last week, I have seen police on the streets. Nice. Like last night I was out about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the housing and development, and the police was on the road patrolling, and I was I stopped and they greeted me and they said, well, yes, they are patrolling the area. So I was very happy to see that.
I want to thank you very much for literally coming with us this afternoon. I'm really hopeful and we pray that you get that support that you need to really bring forward the work that needs to be done in the Barataria area. Right?
Thank you so much, Alan.
No, right now we kind of we trespassing on somebody's house, because on somebody's step right now. So yeah, so
we have Zabaka too.
Yeah, and that's Zabaka in the yard and thing. So there's a last new fence, Councillor.
No, I just showed you the tree. I didn't say anything.
Somebody's house. You're on the step.
Right.
Come on the step. Come on the step. Nice.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. The greenhouse. All right. This has been Cloud9. Oh, they sit here, voice.